We're on Ketubot, Perek Dalid, Mishnah Yud, 10th Mishnah in the 4th chapter of Masechet Ketubot. We're going to continue to discuss the Tanai Ketubah that were inherent, that were considered Tanai Beitin, that even if you didn't write it in your Ketubah, it was considered part of the Ketubah. The Chazal instituted as what the Ketubah is. Okay, this is the part of the Ketubah that's called Ketubat Benin Dichrin, male children. In order to understand it, we'll explain with a chart, because I love charts. Okay, we're going to dedicate the learning of the Mishnah today to memory of my father, as we always do, but I also want to dedicate that to the memory of Rabbi Elyashiv Knoll. Many people aren't aware or didn't know of Rabbi Elyashiv. Rabbi Elyashiv was the head of the Mezam Nisuim, the marriage project, the halachic leader of the Mezam Nisuim, and the Rabbi Prar Tzion. He was also a great, great man. He was just a man of tremendous Ahavat Yisrael, and his loss is very difficult. Okay, we'll dedicate the learning to Rabbi Elishiv's memory for this Mishnah. What's Ketubat Benin Dichrin? Well, let me move me to my side. Okay, so normally, Lavan, this is just a shame of a father, he wants to marry his daughter Rachel after Yaakov. Now, in order to do that, when he does that, in order to make Rachel attractive to Yaakov, let's assume this isn't Yaakov Avinu Rachel, but he wants to make his daughter attractive to Yaakov. Yaakov wants to marry her. In order to do that, he has to give her a nice dowry. That's just the nature of things. The more money Lavan throws in the pot with Rachel, the more he brings into the marriage, the more dowry it is, more Yaakov's going to say, oh, it's worthwhile for me to marry Rachel. Why? Because he can eat the peirot. Remember, the money she brings in, the dowry that she brings in, he can eat the peirot. He benefits from it. The more fields he brings in, etc., etc. The problem is like this. If Rachel dies, as happened a lot in childbirth or what have you, if Rachel dies, then Yaakov inherits Rachel and he gets the pot of gold. So Lavan knows this, and Lavan's like, what? Like, women die in childbirth and people died all the time. I'm not going to, the more money I give her, I'm not going to give her more money because then Yaakov's going to get the money and he's going to give it to his children. He has another wife. He has many, many more children. Let's say he has a ton of children. So why should I give my hard-earned money to Rachel if it's just going to go to Yaakov? So therefore, they instituted this thing called Ketubat Benin Dichrin. I mean, a t'nai in the Ketubah that says that if Rachel dies, the money that he gives her passes on to her male children. So Lavan always knows that the money that he gives to Rachel in the dowry goes to his grandchildren and not just to some guy, to Yaakov's grandchildren. And that will encourage Lavan, to give Rachel a good dowry. And then Yaakov's going to marry her, and they'll be able to marry her off. Otherwise, it must be there was some kind of shidduch crisis, because Lavan was cheap. The Lavans of the world were cheap, and the Rachels of the world weren't getting married and weren't having children because the father didn't want to lose all this money to some stranger, some non-family member, even his beloved son-in-law. That's Ketubat Benin Dichrin. Now let's see it in the Mishnah itself. The Mishnah says, Lo katab, if the father didn't write, or the husband didn't write, Benin Dichrin, the male children, Banim Dichrin, Zachar, Dalet and Zayin are very often interchanged in Aramaic. Benin Dichrin, male children, Yahavon Lichi Minai, that you have from me, Inun, they will, Yirtun Kesef Ketubatech, Yater Al Cheikehun De'im Achuhun. I'll translate. Inun, they will, Yirtun, remember Taf, Yirshun, they will inherit, Kesav Ketubatech, the money of your Ketubah, more than their portion with their brothers. Okay? Meaning, let's go back. If Yaakov dies, so all of his children inherit his estate. But the deal is, since Yaakov made a deal with Rachel Ketubah, so the idea is that if there's any money left over after the Ketubahs of these women, okay, that Rachel's children get this money, get her Ketubah money, Shprintz's children get her Ketubah money, and then they divide what's left. And that way, Lavan will know that his money, his family money, goes down to his grandchildren. That when Yaakov dies, this money doesn't get divided up among all the children, or however many children he has, but rather they go specifically to his grandchildren. And that's what it means. They will inherit the money of your Ketubah, yater al chekehon, an excess to their normal portion from with their brothers. If he didn't write this, lo katavla, chayav, he still has to fulfill this. Shut Tanai Beitin. That's a condition that Beitin, the Chazal, established. And this is called Ketubat Benin Dichrin, the Ketubah of the male children. Okay? Since, and the Bartanura has the sole explanation, he says they get the extra, there has to be some left over, and it was also mimikar ka'eh. It had to be, it was part of the land. I mean, I use this symbol for money, but it was really land that they got. That the family land would continue on in his family from his daughters. And that way we would know, that way Lavan would be encouraged to give Rachel enough money so that she would marry Yaakov, and the family line would continue. We'll stop here, and we dedicated our learning already, so I wish you all a great day.